Good morning, Dirty Laundry family. This is Bill Money, and I am checking in with you today to talk about Symone Sanders. Symone Sanders of the Joe Biden campaign. What can we say about Symone Sanders? Well, I just recently saw a headline which was on the Hill, and basically characterizing Symone Sanders as being hurt at being passed over for the press secretary position once Joe Biden actually got into the White House. Right now, Symone Sanders is senior advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris. She was previously Joe Biden's senior campaign advisor. So when it came time to appoint a press secretary, Joe Biden selected Jen Psaki, who was Obama's former communications director. Previously, Symone Sanders worked for Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign in 2016 before becoming advisor to President Biden in 2020. And they're saying that Sanders was definitely hopeful that she would have that opportunity. They said that Symone Sanders spent a lot of capital as senior advisor to Biden's 2020 campaign, frequently being asked to defend the candidate when the campaign had a problem with the black community. Most notable was when Symone Sanders defended Joe Biden's comments on the Breakfast Club, in which he remarked to Charlemagne the God that if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. This remark did not go over well with the host. It did not go over with the black community at large. But Sanders actually did her job, I would assume, and took to Twitter to defend Joe Biden's remarks. I'm just going to read a bit of the tweet. Symone Sanders, her tweet read as, what did she say? She said, Vice President Biden spent his career fighting alongside and for the African American community. He won his party's nomination by earning every vote and meeting people where they are, and that's exactly what he intends to do this November. So, of course, they sent out Symone Sanders, the black woman, to work her magic to take the bullets for Joe Biden. His lack of discretion in his chosen comments, and especially in a racially charged environment as we have been in for centuries, but most notably this last election cycle. So, my take on Symone Sanders, I knew she was actually hurt. She was immediately offered the position with Kamala Harris after Psaki was appointed to press secretary. And so she, exclaimed how happy she was. But of course she wanted the opportunity. But as you see playing in the background, there was an incident at a Joe Biden rally in which, as you see probably playing in the background, in which the stage was bum rushed by some protesters. And, Jill Biden grabbed one, and Symone Sanders eventually rushed the stage and grabbed another protester and literally carried her off stage like with one arm. And I'll post the still photo so you could see that. Basically putting her body on the line, in addition to putting her reputation on the line, and her, her cachet with the black community. Excuse me. So, this is just another example of, how black people will go above and beyond the call of duty. In this case in particular, for white liberals, for a check, for a position, social capital, all of these things, are tied to these types of positions. And, when you see a person like Symone Sanders, who, being a black woman, and probably not being in that position if she wasn't a black woman, but ultimately, selling out the community and not really, being an insider with any influence, in the halls of power in which she works. She's working elbow to elbow, with Joe Biden. She's now working elbow to elbow with Kamala Harris. And, up until this point, as, we can plainly see, Biden's first 100 days were filled with executive orders for, the Asian American community, the LGBTQ community, the illegal immigrant community as well, but nothing for the 87% African American community that voted for Joe Biden. So I'm saying all that basically to say, as we can prove, if we look at data, which will prove that there's no necessary correlation between a greater representation amongst African Americans in elected and appointed positions and an improvement in the overall conditions of our community. So that's to say, basically, when we see black faces in high places, that doesn't necessarily equate or correlate to a material conditions improving in the black community. And Symone Sanders is just one of the latest examples of that, of a black face being appointed to a high position, but basically a toothless tiger at the end of the day. So I'm not going to hold you people. Just wanted to, speak about this because this was something that came up several months back once the campaign had finally ended and appointments were made. Jen Psaki has to, she has, which may be of some solace to Symone Sanders, has announced that she would probably be stepping down from her post within a year, and that it'd be time for someone else to take that position. Although something tells me that position would not be filled by Symone Sanders. And I'm not sure why she wasn't chosen for the position. Jen Psaki may have just been a greater fit with her previous communications experience under President Obama. And that just may be the end of it. It may not be a slight or anything based on her as a person. It just may be an experience factor. However, it just sticks out when these things happen, because Symone Sanders would have actually been the first African-American female to hold that position. So it would have been significant in a symbolic sort of way. Again, not sure if that would have equated to any improvement of material conditions on the ground for the greater community. But just another example of how you can sacrifice your body, you can sacrifice your reputation for people in an exchange, and it may not work out for you in the end how you imagined it might. So again, just wanted to chime in. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Was this a situation in which Symone Sanders was slighted because of her race? Or was it just merely an experience factor in which Jen Psaki had the competitive edge due to her prior experience in the Obama administration. So with that, people, thanks again for tuning in and listening. Again, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I drop new content. And again, this is Bill Money signing off for Dirty Laundry Media, where we air it out. Thank you.